You are watching Park TV.
Welcome to Mionadnock Tonight with your host, Steve Jackson. Coming to you live from the new Park Theater in downtown Jaffrey, New Hampshire. Join Steve and his guest today, the winner of the New Hampshire Realtors 2020 Good Neighbor Award. And he is Kevin Hampsey. Now sit back, relax, and here's Steve.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Park. Tonight is Thursday, March 4th, and from the East Coast, and those and goes down. And yes, I am Steve Jackson, the CEO and Park Theater. Our host, and glad you could join us. Beautiful new Park Theater in downtown. Entertained here. We have I think if you know, if you, I'm glad. First, a few on what's happening at the theater today. Day at the bay. Anyone driving by the theater, outside, and you would have seen them on a sign that were working at the facing Main Street. Windows. And that I put up signs that will our main auditorium and fun to know that it is the Will Steps Auditorium. And a total day in Michael B. Board member, regional organizers of where we are right now, Park, and wonderful side of his auditorium. They're bold and they're fun. To them, I think some other what's going on with been involved with the St. Patrick's Day parade in 2018. Our guest, a lot of work. 2018 in 2009, we broadcasted. And too short first, but it grew to be passing. Sadly, at the very last, when everything percolated, COVID, a cancellation of the parade. Not as much as this year, but sadly, once we cancel every Patrick's Day around here, but many parades are so we ability through and we're it's in the news today, and it was on WMUR television last night. We are neutral 2-hour state parade. True Day from 12 noon to noon. There will past clips, past of the world with and a lot of other people that have been involved with the parades in our town. Co-host of hosts. Owen Houghton, as you may remember, was our host of a cold, and he on one of the parade office. The N.A. Scott and have we're going to plus their executive director here. Nancy will be representing the county, and we do on the show. She'll be on the and some performing. We will also have the Verto needs a grand marshal, and you might as well have the one that's done it before. It's Mr. who perfectly for be able to well better now. If anyone give me another comment, I'm sorry. But hopefully we're still going. All right. Well, let me continue. That's happening. We thought we had our internet broadband fiber optic prayer, but maybe not. I'm not seeing any further comment. And let me know. And we can try to maybe help. I just want to show the poster that ring for St. Patrick, and I guess I'm not sure what's not some issue. If video or photo, both, and if I'm still, it's not true. With intermittent here. Is there a way for us to do this? Hold on one sec. All right. I hope our sound is better, but let me see. Yikes. All right, let's see what we can do here. Well, we're going to try to come back. I'm looking at the comments, and pardon me for this, that we've gotten this way. I don't understand why it seems so clear on my end. I don't know why. Now the sound is better, I've been told, by Lisa. Thank you. So let's, well, we're hearing from, it's a little better now. Okay, well, let us keep going. So hopefully you did see the poster for St. Patrick's Day, back to St. Patrick's Day. And we're going to be having a 50-50 raffle to benefit the theater. We're also going to have a guess the number. It's a classic. Guess the number of jelly beans in the jar in our window contest. There'll be a jar in our window starting next week with, I can't say how many, but I'll say there are more than 100, maybe far more than 100 jelly beans. And there'll be prizes. You can buy a chance to make a guess on that. Obviously, a 50-50 raffle, I think everybody knows how to do that. And on the day of the broadcast, again, it's on St. Patrick's Day from 12 noon to 2 p.m. We're going to allow you to call into the show, be a guest on the show, either calling in or you can be a guest in video, and just wish everybody a Erin Go Bra or a Schlancha toast to everyone. So that should be a lot of fun, and be on the lookout for more details about some of our performers, because we're waiting for some people to get back to us. And so I think it will only grow in terms of who's going to be there. But it's going to be a fun time. And of course, the broadcast will be live from 12 to 2, but immediately when it's finished, if you're at work or you have an appointment or some reason you can't watch it live, you'll be able to watch it videotaped right after it's over. Park Pix Flicks. We are proud to announce that rather than just one film each week for during the month of March, in honor of Women's History Month, we have got a program every week called The Women Pioneers of Film. And this amazing series, which focuses on 4 pioneering women filmmakers, has been curated by one of our board members, Peggy Ueda, and really is going to be a wonderful program. These are the 4 filmmakers that are going to be profiled, and with clips and with other information that you can get on them. On the left is Lois Weber, a director, screenwriter. She not only wrote, she directed, she acted for Universal Studios, and was routinely mentioned, and you'll see during the silent period, alongside W.D. Griffith and Cecil B. DeMille as a top talent. It's a hard thing. Until recently, it's been very hard for women to be accepted within the film industry. But she was doing it during the silent era. And I'll go through the rest of our filmmakers here, and then after I go through the rest of them briefly, I have a clip from Lois's, one of her films called Suspense, which is really fun. Lottie Reiniger, one of the unsung heroines of animation. She pioneered what is called as a multi-plane glass plate animation technique. Later was used by Disney and other animators for decades. Also silhouette animation. She was really kind of developed it, and many people followed her after that. And she was mainly in the silent, but she also was in the sound era as well. And then we get into the 30s and 40s. And Dorothy Arzner was really called, until the late 40s, the only successful female director of talkies. And she was the first, and for a long time, the only woman admitted to the Screen Directors Guild. And then finally, the name on your right is the name you probably know. Ida Lupino was a very respected actor, but most did not know that she was also a highly respected director in the late 40s, but 50s and 60s, mainly in film, but also in television as well. And she was the first credited director since the retirement of Dorothy Arzner, and second admitted to the Directors Guild. but she even opened up her own independent studio. But let's take a look. I think you're going to, it's only a minute and 30 seconds, but this is not only Lois Weber's from 1913 film Suspense, where she is acting, but she also wrote this piece and she also directed this piece. So here is a quick bit of Lois Weber in the film Suspense. So we're going to have a bunch of those from each director. Some are feature, some like that is a short film that's about 15 minutes long. But we will have a variety, plus a lot of other background information that you can read about these amazing women and how they were becoming really forces in film way before it was much more standard that women be accepted in film, which really has only been very recently that has certainly happened, sadly. But so starting tomorrow, you can go to Park Picks Flicks, go to theparktheater.org, you click Park Picks Flicks in the top right, and click, and you'll go to that section if you've been there before, and we'll have Lois featured there first, and then we'll move on next week to Lottie Reiniger and onward through the month. Also to let you know, but we'll get to it later, on March 17th, we will have a film from Ireland with Colm Meaney, and I know there are a lot of people that like Colm Meaney, and it's a wonderful film. It was part of the trilogy that was done by several directors, but it's called The Van, and from 1997. I think you're going to like that very much, but that'll start on St. Patrick's Day. A true Irish film. Okay, so last thing, tomorrow, these are the brand new films that we present. I showed the trailers. I wanted to show them again. People had asked for them. We have two new films starting tomorrow. The first one is Stray, and it's a heartwarming documentary about three dogs in Istanbul. And as you may know, in Istanbul and Turkey, they have a no-kill, no-pickup policy for dogs and cats. And take a look at the trailer.
Sağlam. Bunun hayvata var ya, sarı güzel, sarı güzel ki.
Günlük yaşayan bir insan hayatı olmuş olmaz.
It's won many awards at film festivals already. It's being released nationally tomorrow, and we're one of those theaters that's bringing it to you online. The reviews are just absolutely stellar, and it's all positive, upbeat, but it tells you about the relationship that these dogs have with each other, as well as how the community accepts them. And the relationships that they have with the community. So we moved to another country, and we moved to France, and we have a French farce starring the top comedy film actors of France and Belgium. And it's a loony story. And I'm going to show you the trailer, which is very quick. And when you look at the trailer and you know this is an unusual trailer, I will tell you this is an unusual film. It takes place in a French police station with a detective. And I have to do this, a suspect, because you don't really know what's going on. But it's funny, it's dark, and I think you'll enjoy it. So this is Keep an Eye Out, starting tomorrow in the virtual movie theater.
Non, attends, je peux pas te parler là. Non, parce que je dois faire une bonne annonce, je te rappelle. Alors, Grégoire, c'est quoi ce film dans lequel on joue?
C'est la nouvelle comédie de Quentin Dupieux.
C'est qui?
Je sais pas.
C'est le réalisateur, j'imagine.
Je pense.
Ça parle de quoi?
C'est un flic qui interroge un suspect toute une nuit et ça va mal tourner.
Il y a un meurtre.
Ouais.
Le titre du film?
Au poste.
Au poste. La nouvelle comédie de Quentin Dupieux. Ouais. Avec Grégoire Ludic.
Bonsoir.
Benoît Vent. Marc Fraise. Anaïs Domoustier. Philippe Duquesne. Et une pléiade d'autres acteurs amusants.
Amusant, ouais.
Amusant. Bientôt sur vos écrans.
Ouais, bientôt sur vos écrans.
Our guest today is someone, if you're from Jaffrey, it's almost impossible if you do not know this individual, because he is such a part of the community, and not only in terms of his business, but in terms of what he does outside his business for the community. He is also a member of the board for many, many years of the board of trustees for the Park Theater, and has done so much for the Park Theater in so many different events that he has sponsored. Most recently, as you know, he was the sponsor through Hampsey and Grenier, his company that we'll talk about, of the Valentine's Day play reading. But that's just one of dozens of events, movies that Kevin has stepped up to always support, either through physical help and always financial help. So before we say anything more, I think we should introduce him. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kevin Hampsey. And there he is. Good evening, Kevin. How are you?
Good. How are you?
We are good. We are good. Kevin and I, of course, know each other very well, which started with the Park Theater, but has blossomed off into other ventures as well. But, we're really glad that you're here, Kevin. As I was saying, as I introduced you, you've supported the Park Theater in so many ways. And everyone was thrilled that you gave us an underwriting gift to do the Valentine's Day play readings with Gus Kekkonen and Lisa Bosner, which were a real smash success. And people are still asking about them. They're asking whether or not they they can still see it, even though we had it on replay for a few days that somebody could buy a replay. But it just means we need to do more, but we couldn't have done it without your support. So again, a huge thank you to you and Hampsey and Grenier and all the folks there for supporting us. But what I think, as I do with all our guests on Mionadnock Tonight, I think you know names, and you might even know somebody, but you may not know everything about them. So I thought it would be great, before we get into all the things that Kevin does is for the community, his company, and we're going to be talking a lot about the St. Patrick's Day parades. Kevin, could you tell us a little bit about your background and, from being a kid and growing up, and you're a lifelong Jaffreyite, correct?
Yes, I am.
Tell us about your background.
Well, and Jaffrey and stuff, and my my recollection of the theater. I remember going to the theater back in the late '60s, early '70s, and stuff. So once I knew about this idea of this performing arts center, I wanted to be part of that. But no, I was born and raised, went to St. Patrick's School, and I went away to Brewster Academy up in Wolfboro, and but I've always, I ended up coming back here, worked in Boston for a while in the hotel restaurant field, and then I own Hampsey and Grenier. I'm a co-owner of Hampsey Grenier Associates. We do home sales, rentals, 24 hours property management, and so yeah, we've been around for 30 years. My business partner, Mike Grenier, and myself, and our office is located in the beautiful old post office in Jaffrey Center. And I've been doing that for since 1991 with my business partner, Mike Grenier, who, everything I do, we do together and stuff. But
and so you went to grade school. You went to high school at Conant?
I went there for 1 year, and then I transferred. I was a basketball player, so I had a prep school to keep your allowed eligibility. I went to I repeated my freshman year, and I went there for 4 years up in Wolfboro on Brewster Academy and stuff. So, but no, yeah, I basically went to St. Patrick's School 1st through 8th, and then I moved to Boston, and I attended Johnson & Wales, and I went to school. I was going to go to school for hotel, restaurant, and accounting, and I worked in the hotel restaurant field for many years in Boston, and kind of worked my way back up here. And my business partner, Michael Grenier, who's probably worked for one of the largest rental real estate companies in Boston, and that's how we started off. Actually, back in the day, a lot of real estate companies around here, they kind of start off with sales, and then if the market tapers off or, listings dry up, they're in trouble. We have a background in rentals and property management. And so we've been doing that, through good times and bad times for 30 years and stuff. And it seems to work. And then, obviously we do sales. And with this last year, with COVID-19, I didn't get the the PPP money like a lot of small companies got and or didn't get or whatever. So I ended up Mike and I are licensed bonded realtors and stuff, and so we ended up getting into the COVID cleaning company. Since we're bonded and we're licensed and stuff, we started doing that. Actually, we've had some major accounts, and now possibly even with this variant, this might be something we may be continuing to do. But we've done work for Bell Tates and Dover Saddlery, different Woodbound Inn, churches, First Church in the center here, and homeowners and other big businesses and stuff. 100,000 square feet, to small houses and stuff, and so we've been doing that too.
And what when I think people would be interested in terms of what involves a COVID cleaning these days.
Well, I mean, some of the other our competitors and stuff, they're more or less they were doing this as a sideline along with their regular business of mildew and stuff like that. As far as and that they're busy enough with black mold and handling stuff like this. Our thing is we would actually clean the substance, meaning the desks, the workstations, the telephones, the light switches, instead of just. We have a hydrostatic sprayer, which is and a combination fogger, which is an extremely expensive machine, and it has special solution. And we would, hydrostatic spray it and encapsulate it after we would hand clean it. So everything is hand cleaned, which is our businesses like us because they want everything cleaned first by hand. And a lot of companies don't do that. So I think that kind of helped us out. Yeah. And keeping employees to show up to work. There was a while a lot of employees weren't show up to work. They were worried about getting contaminated at the workforce. So a place to work.
Well, hopefully that is a business that you won't be in forever when we get past this. But for the moment, and because it's a necessary service that we need. Everyone needs all over the country, let alone in just our neck of the woods. And tell me, I mean, we're going to get to. You were recognized this year by a statewide organization, but part of why you were recognized is tell us a little bit about your other community efforts that you've done with the schools, with kids, with highway beautification, because you've been involved in those efforts as many times as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of this stuff I do, I like to say I do it because of my mom got me into a lot of this stuff. I mean, not the sports and stuff, but I remember back in the day, I think it was 1972, we had the first Earth Day, in our country. And I remember cleaning up our neighborhood, and it was like, and so I just thought it was being up in the Mount Mionadnock region. It's like any place you live, but especially our area, it's like a holy shrine. So it aggravates me to see trash on the side of the road. So my business partner, Michael, and myself, we've organized it used to be called the Adopt a Highway, but now it's called the Sponsor a Highway. We've been doing it for 30 years. For the town of Jaffrey and for the chamber. And we also help coordinate with the town cleanup. With COVID, not as many groups went out, but for the most part, I think most of our groups for the Sponsor a Highway went out. I don't know about the town cleanup, but so we've been doing that for like 30 years. And I've been coaching AAU basketball. Originally, I started off with a group called the Gym Rats, and then I branched off on my own team called Team Tang, and it's mostly I might have done 7th and 8th grade, but for the most part, it's been high school boys. We go everywhere around the state for the most part. Massachusetts, we've done Vermont, New Hampshire, and I have area schools: Conant, Messinic, Mionadnock, Conval, Keene High, Murdoch. Dublin prep school kids. I even have girls play on my team and stuff. So I've been doing that a long time, along with coaching baseball, and so that's some of the stuff that I've just done.
Well, it's because of this work that Kevin was recognized by the Realtor Association of New Hampshire this past year with their coveted Good Neighbor Award. Now, this is not regional. This is the whole state. And for these efforts that Kevin keeps doing and has done for years, including what he's done for the Park Theater, they felt that he was the guy for the state to be recognized. And so, again, congratulations for that coveted recognition of the Good Neighbor 2020 Award.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it was a chance. I get so much stuff on my email, like a lot of people, and there was a grant there for a charity of our choosing, of my choosing, and the Park Theater I've been involved with, and I thought it would be a good match to work that and stuff. But I don't do this stuff, as you know, for awards or stuff, but it was very the nice thing about this award, Steve, it was statewide, and it was, you know, and it's just I remember I needed you know, I had a lot of people's help on getting this. I had letters and, you know, numerous letters on my behalf, and then like a thesis basically going against other realtors. Because some people, you know, will say, "Oh, I didn't know you had your real estate license." Like, no. Mike and I have a real estate license. We are realtors for 30 years, and so it's just, you know, we've been, you know, it was nice to be recognized for the statewide award, not just for local, you know, board, local Kentucky Valley board. But, yeah.
And as Kevin said, the recognition, the person who would be recognized at the top of the heap would receive a cash award from the organization that person who's recognized would designate a nonprofit for the prize to be given to. And of course, God bless Kevin, you know, he designated the Park Theater. So, you know, it's kind of it's a beautiful recognition for Kevin, and it comes with a beautiful gift thanks to Kevin's work that came back to the Park Theater. So again, everyone, all the fans of the Park Theater, you know, thank you so much for that and for the work you do, because otherwise you wouldn't have won it and we wouldn't have received it. So really tremendous. But let's get to something that Kevin and I have worked on a lot from the beginning. But there was a beginning before I started working with Kevin, as he was talking about doing something in this town that had not been done. In fact, is rarely done in the state. And that is having a good old St. Patrick's Day parade. And in 2018, the town of Jaffrey was lucky enough to have their first. Continued in 2019, and then of course, sadly, it had to be canceled last year, and it's going to be canceled this year. But let's go back to the beginning. Kevin, can you tell the audience, how did this come about? Who did you talk to about it, and who were kind of the original organizers talking about this would be a good thing for the town of Jaffrey?
Yeah, I mean, this started, I think, like you said, Steve, 2018. Actually, Jimmy Quinn, who's actually from Donegal, Ireland, stopped by, and he mentioned, I know we're talking about, you know, St. Patrick's Day parade. And I don't know if you saw the movie Churchill, but they would talk about Winston Churchill. He'd have 100 ideas, and then like maybe one of them or two of them would be good. Well, this one, you know, it was like, Jimmy, hey, you might have came across a winner here. So I know he needed help trying to make this thing happen, and I'm growing up in town. Jaffrey enjoys a parade. I mean, if any towns just from marching and participating, even on Memorial Day parades or event parades, which don't happen often, they come out. And so I thought it would be a great idea to do that. The first year we started, you know, the people that helped me were involved were you, Steve, you know, Steve Jackson and help, Jimmy Quinn. You know, I had a kind of like a group of people, Stephanie Niemla, Stephanie Faulkner, the Chamber, and collaboration with Stephanie Niemla from Team Jaffrey, and Kelly Bergeron was a big help last year and stuff. But you know, these are the people that that helped me, and then obviously anything I do, my business partner is involved with and stuff. But we put it on, and like we started the first year like around Valentine's Day, and got the approvals and everything else. It was a smaller version, but we basically put it together within a month or less. And then 2019, we added on it stuff, and the last year's was going to be even a little bit bigger, and we had state signs, and we were going to have floats, but unfortunately with COVID, it got canceled.
Yeah, well, and certainly we were not alone.
Right.
The St. Patrick's Day parades all over the country were canceled.
Absolutely.
As many parades, whether they're July 4th, they've been canceled, and it's sad. And hopefully this is the last St. Patrick's that has to be canceled because of it. Before we get to talking about what we're going to do in lieu of that, because we have a lovely way of experiencing it a little bit differently. But I would like to talk about, because this, as with anything, and certainly the size and scope of of a parade, it has a lot of logistical issues, but it needs funding. But Kevin was able to put together, not just 3, 4, 5, 6 sponsors. I mean, he put in dozens of sponsors because people wanted to sponsor something like this. And as you talk about the sponsors, and as you do, I'm going to put up on the screen the poster for the parade that never happened in 2020. But I want, as you're talking about it, Kevin, about the sponsors, people should look at the list. You're going to see a lot of logos and everything. We'll leave it up there for a little bit, and look at these people and these companies that supported us. But tell us about the importance of sponsors as they look at the last year's poster.
You want me to show that, or you have it?
No, we'll show it. You're just all you have to do is just talk about them.
Okay, yeah, no, I mean, it was they were pretty willing, because the first year was such a hit, and coming out of the winter, just from anybody that lives up here, being a native and stuff, we got long winters up here. So it's just by March, by St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, you're out of the woods. And so it's kind of a way for everybody to, small businesses, everybody to participate. We had different levels. I believe we had a gold level, a silver level, a bronze level, and a friend sponsorship. So, everybody can contribute. And we every year that we had it, we were on WKBK or WKNE, and they would talk about it, and all the local newspapers would pick it up. And I believe we're the second largest St. Patrick's Day in the area, next to Manchester. And
there were thousands of people both years. And, so, and the second year grew, obviously even more with word of mouth. People were looking for this event.
And then the nice thing about our parade is, instead of being like in a city landscape or backdrop that you would have like in Manchester or Boston or Chicago or New York, we got Mount Mionadnock as our backdrop. So it's just it's pretty cool. The mountains just starting to become kind of green a little bit. It's still probably snow on there and stuff. And then everything's green. And the bagpipes and the it was just a real cool thing.
And our town is made for it because, of course, we have St. Patrick's Catholic Church, and is our church in town. Right. So it's like, for this town to have the bragging rights of the St. Patrick's Day parade, it's perfect. It fits like a glove. And that is also in right next door in their parking lot is where the parade begins. It moves east down Main Street and culminates in the downtown area of the shopping district of the town. And people would line the sides of the streets. The restaurants had corned beef and Irish specials, Irish beer. So it was just a great community gathering. And the other thing is, a parade, whether they're 2 years old or they're 90 years old, everyone loves a parade.
No, you're right, Steve. I mean, it was just a good time. The town municipality was awesome. They embraced it. The selectmen and the town administrators and the police and the fire department and the ambulance, they got involved. I mean, we were going to have floats last year, but it's just, we had some really good time, a big time events. I mean, we had bagpipers. We have the New Hampshire Scott, which is a serious band, and we have like 3 or 4 other bands.
Yeah, we had marching bands. We had Irish dancers, young Irish dancers. single bagpipe, like New Hampshire Scott, and military organizations, and of course, and we also had the fire departments, and we had the sponsor floats, and the sponsor came along. I mean, it was again a good old fashioned, good old fashioned parade. In this case, a St. Patrick's Day parade. So, we flash forward to this month as we're coming up the countdown. Today is March 1st and March 17th, and we still can't do a parade. And again, all the parades, as far as I've seen around the country and certainly around New England, have been canceled again. So what the Park Theater is going to produce is a 2-hour live program on Wednesday, March 17th, starting at noon, where we will do a virtual St. Patrick's Day parade. Luckily, we filmed the parades, and so we've got some footage from the past parades. We're inviting on as many of the performers that want to come on as guests to talk about their organizations, and also to show footage from the parade, from other parades, new footage. Some of these organizations are doing new footage exclusively for us. And we're going to do 2 hours of just it's like I say, it's going to be a virtual parade. And I'm going to put up our poster here. It's kind of, we're on each side of it. But so there it is, the Jaffrey St. Patrick's Day Parade, the virtual edition 2021, including all the people that I've just mentioned, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. on where you usually find the show you're watching right now, Mionadnock Tonight, which is on our Facebook Live, as well as on our YouTube channels. And, it's free to watch. We'll be promoting it heavily. We're going to be having some raffles and some other things to raise money for the theater during it. We're going to invite folks who would either like to send us and you can do it now, if you'd like to send us a selfie wishing everyone with an Aaron Gobra or Schlancha message to Happy St. Patrick's, and just give us your name and the town you're from. We'll include that little video on there. But that day as well, we've got 2 hours. We're going to be live. We're going to have guests coming and going. If we'll tell you where you can go, you can come on live, just like Kevin has. And you can do a quick, my name is Joe Johnson, or my name is Kevin Hampsey, but Kevin will be on the show anyway. But wishing everybody a happy St. Patrick's Day and have a great, safe day. So, so that everyone can participate, but we're going to try to get as many people from the prior parades to be along with us. And Kevin, do you want to say anything about that?
Yeah, I mean, I reached out to all the acts, and like Steve said, some of them are going to have pre-recorded videos of them marching, or some of it will be live. I think my next thing is to reach out to some of the local area restaurants that are having a hard time, obviously, with COVID and stuff. And I'm sure a lot of them are going to be doing corned beef and cabbage, Irish stew, bangers and mash. And I think we're going to push, to let people know on the show to visit those places for that. And I'm going to do the best we can with what we can, being it virtual, to kind of keep our foot in the door. So next year that, we're ready to rock and roll. And it's to give everybody a little bit of flavor. Listen, there are a lot of people in a lot of towns. The only way they'd watch a parade is because it was broadcast on their local station. So, we're going to try to give a little bit of a flavor because we have some previous footage. And we can show some clips from some of the prior 2 years we did it, combined with, again, talking, the one thing we can't do and we don't really do is talk to the people that were in the parade. Right.
And we're inviting them on as guests, and we're a chance to interview them, talk about the parades they've done, talk about where they perform in the off season, so to speak. And if you might want to hire a bagpipe band for a wedding, and it's an opportunity for people to see the great talent that we have throughout the region and New England. And these folks come from not just New Hampshire. Most of them are from New Hampshire, but they come from Massachusetts. They come from Vermont. So so we're going to make it very interactive. And a lot of special guests from the town itself, and special guests from who are parade organizers, and parade performers. So again, March 17th, that's not a hard day to forget. But at 12 noon, the show will begin live, and we'll have a couple hours of fun for everyone. So we hope to see you with us, and Kevin will be there. Kevin will be a guest. We will try to get Mr. Jimmy Quinn, the Grand Marshal of the parade, to be on as well. And again, a lot of these performing groups, we're going to try to get them on. And some have produced some new videos for us. Beautiful. N.H. Scott did a wonderful job, and we'll have a spokesperson from N.H. Scott as well, their band. And it's going to be fun. So back to Kevin. Kevin, I can't thank you enough for being a guest on the show today.
Thank you.
We've been talking about it, and finally it was time to interview somebody who has a lot to do with what goes on here at the Park Theater, and a lot to do what goes on here in our community and the surrounding communities of the Mionadnock region. And that's Mr. Kevin Hampsey. So thank you, sir. And we will see each other very soon, and most definitely on March 17th.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. Well, that was great. As I say, Kevin is such a part of the fabric of the Mionadnock region, and Jaffrey in particular, that I'm glad and hope you got to know him a little bit better. And as I say, it's easy to get hold of him. Just go to Hampsey and Grenier or the rentalguys.com, and you can get hold of Kevin for any of your real estate or COVID needs. And but you'll be seeing him at the minimum on our Park TV presentation of the St. Patrick's Day Parade Virtual Edition 2020. And I'm going to put this up again. Yeah, there it is. And we hope you'll be there Wednesday, March 17th, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. live, and will be a lot of fun. So stay tuned. We have more coming up right after this.